Scorpio, welcome to your August 2018 tarot reading. It's Raina here. So anyway, I'm starting over again. I was faced with back-to-back mufflers and planes, trains, and automobiles. Okay, so the heart of the matter is the Knight of Swords. This can be a male who is chronologically under the age of 40 and a male adult. And who this person is to you, I don't know. This can also be a lawyer, but if this is someone you know, this person's going to be blunt, have blunt speech. They may have kind of like a revolutionary energy. They may be a mixture of fire and air. So for instance, an Aquarius with a moon in Aries, just giving like an example, or Aries rising, where they're very they really have they're a person who believes in certain causes. And if this is a person that you're interested in as a Scorpio, you may find this person elusive, because I don't know that they're ready to settle down. You may feel like you're kind of chasing them, and it seems like they're running away because they may love their freedom. If this is a man over 40, he may have like kind of a youthful demeanor. And I don't see this as a boss. Maybe a co-worker, but not like boss material. I don't know who else this could be, unless it's like a sibling, like a brother or something like that. But it could be somebody that you're interested in. We'll look at the foundation card, the Nine of Cups. This is the wish fulfillment card. So perhaps an example would be that you have been wanting to get a divorce, and now you've found the lawyer, or you're able to afford a lawyer and you're able to do it, and so you're happy. Or this person is somebody that is making you happy. If this is an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, I would say Aquarius for Scorpio, which is really an unusual combination. I'm only saying it because you're both fixed signs. But the fire signs are Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Again, with a fixed sign, it would be a Leo. And there are lots of Leos and Scorpios who get together. That one I can understand a little bit more than the Aquarius. But this person, well, let's look at what is crossing you. The Nine of Wands, this is a card of having your guard up, okay? Now, it's interesting that these are wands, because this is fire energy. So there's always a possibility that there is a fire sign individual who is coming in between you and this person. Whether it's a partner of theirs, or an ex of theirs, or I don't know, somebody else. So that would be, as I said before, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. And it could be like their moon sign, for instance, and they may have kind of a volatile temper, and they don't like the fact that the two of you are together. Maybe it's this person's ex. But this could very easily be something that's happening with you, where you have your guard up, because a lot of Scorpios do. A lot of Scorpios have trust issues. Maybe that's wrong for me to say that, but it seems that has been what I have observed, and based on what Scorpio represents to me. So maybe I should just say some, not most. And so what this means is that this person is very straightforward, and they may not like the fact that you're kind of not being totally open with them. And that may actually make the relationship, if it's starting out, it may make it kind of grind to a halt, because the other person may feel like they don't trust you because they feel like you're holding back with something, and they're like, what's going on? What do you have to hide? You know, something like that. So just putting it out there. I don't know if that rings a bell with anyone, but that's kind of what's going on. And the higher message is the Eight of Wands. This is a card of fast developments. Now, that Knight of Swords can be that type of person too. I think as a spiritual message, I would almost think that it's more of a warning than saying, oh, this is what's going to happen and this is going to be great. I think it's more of a warning. You know, watch out if this other person is trying to push things fast, make things go fast, especially like an Aries person, because you always have to say, what is the rush? Why do we have to rush into this? And usually people who want you to rush into something, maybe, I don't know, again, I'm making these blanket statements. In my opinion, people who want you to rush into something are doing so, to me, because they want to suck you into something. Now, maybe I'm totally cynical about that, but I am very suspicious if somebody tries to push me into something. You know, limited time offer. No, I don't think so. I don't think there is limited time. I think that we have all the time in the world to get to know each other. And if there's a lawyer who's trying to, maybe you think you found the perfect lawyer and they're kind of rushing things too, that could prove to be problematic. And it might not even have to do with like a divorce. It might have some other legal, you may have some other legal issues going on. And if somebody's like just being slapdash and they're doing things quickly, they may be sloppy and they may not get their facts straight, and then where are you going to be? So just keep in mind that if you're eager for something to transpire, it's got to be matched with a certain amount of care so that mistakes are not made. The practical advice is the Queen of Swords. So it's things that you can do, and this one thing can be if you're facing some kind of a situation like a divorce, for instance, or even, it really doesn't matter. I mean, it could be like a divorce, or if you're facing somebody who is acting like very in love with you and they want you to just like move in with them after 2 weeks, you have to use your head. The Queen of Swords is a combination of male and female energy. The female part of it, the Queen, is your intuition and, you know, your gut. But it can also be feelings in general, just any kind of feelings. And the swords relate to the intellect. And basically, you have to balance it. You have to use your mind, your logic, but you also have to tune into yourself, because sometimes what seems logical is not necessarily the truth. The logical explanation for something may be the surface explanation, but really there might be some deeper reason for why somebody is doing something. But in this case, I think it's more of putting your feelings aside and making a decision based on just the facts, ma'am. And that may be difficult for a Scorpio because you're a water sign and you just tend to go with your feelings. But the Eight of Wands can be like that passion that is just making people lose their heads and do things that are rash. With the Nine of Cups, you may be feeling like, really, man, I found this perfect person and blah, blah, blah. And you just have to make sure that you're being very deliberate and, you know, sober about it. And what's coming in is represented by the Page of Swords. This can even involve investigating for yourself whether a situation is too good to be true, because sometimes that can, you know, get into that territory. And making sure, you know, it's funny because with the Nine of Wands, you know, it's like being vigilant in terms of what your boundaries are and not letting anybody kind of invade your space and stuff like that. But that can be kind of like pushing people away. That might be too extreme, but the Page of Swords can be about being very vigilant in terms of what somebody is telling you and making sure that it's true and that you're not getting carried away. And maybe you're going to be more discriminating. Maybe you like, for a minute, were like the Eight of Wands and you were thinking of just dropping everything and going with someone. But you're now realizing that you have to be much more careful. And you may even be doing a bit of spying, because I always call the Page of Swords the card of the spy. And so, like, for instance, you meet somebody and they are really like telling you everything you want to hear right off the bat, and they want you to, they're trying to pressure you into moving in with them, or after a month or something crazy. And for a minute you're thinking about it, and then you kind of get a hold of yourself, and then you start to say, I wonder if this person is who they say they are, and you're looking on Facebook. And the outcome is the Hangman, and this is a card of suspension, of a waiting period. Maybe you'll discover something about someone, and you realize that maybe they need to get divorced. Maybe they said, well, I'm not with anyone right now, and that is literally true, but they didn't bother to tell you that they're still legally married and they have kids or something like that. So maybe that's something that you discover. So I'm thinking in August, what do we have going on here? We have a full moon at the end of August, August 26th, which is at 3 degrees of Pisces. Or is it 4 degrees? I think it's 3 degrees. So Pisces is your 5th house of romance. And full moons can bring full disclosure. So that could be what that Page of Swords is all about. Where you find something out about someone, about this person, that you didn't know. And then now it's kind of in limbo. You haven't decided whether you're going to stay with them or not. If this is any kind of a job, there could be, like, if this is like a employment situation, there could be some kind of work in the legal field, or also in, I would say, the teaching field. And you may think that you have this dream job, but maybe you didn't read the fine print. During the month of August, we do have Mercury retrograde active until the 19th. So sometimes, and Mars retrograde until the end of the month. So sometimes there can be, especially with the Mercury retrograde, misunderstandings, or just not reading the whole, that's kind of a misunderstanding, not reading the fine print. So I feel like you may be waiting for a job that you thought perhaps you had in the bag. on further review. You have to wait a little bit longer, but you do have some good cards here. The Nine of Cups is certainly a wonderful card, as is the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands can be hearing good news too. So anyway, and fast-paced developments. Okay, Scorpio, that's what I have for you. If you'd like a private reading, please click on the link below. Have a great August. Bye.